Hey y'all! Today I'm making tons of cookie dough. I'm trying to batch my tasks that are involved in the cookie making process. So I'm taking one day and making 8 double batches of cookie dough. So that's like 24 dozen cookies. So I'm just gonna get started and show you kind of my process. I've got my mixer here that stays here, and I borrowed my mom's mixer for the day. She trusted me with her baby. So we're gonna see how that goes, see if I can get a little bit more done with that. Like and subscribe if you want to learn more about how I try to stay productive and get a lot done, save time, save money as a cookie decorator, and how I make this a business that helps me bring a little bit of income to our family. All right, here we go. So in order to be as efficient as possible, I went ahead and mixed all my dough at one time. I did the mixing, then the rolling, and then the freezing, just to kind of batch it all together so that I could clean up one step after the other. Here I've got my butter and sugars mixing in the mixers while I sift together the dry ingredients. I'm working in 2 batches at a time since I'm using 2 mixers today. If you'd like to see the full video about how I make my sugar cookie recipe, I have a video called No Spread Sugar Cookie Dough, and that'll show you exactly how I make this dough and how I use it to make perfect sugar cookies with those perfect edges every time. You can click the card up above to see that video. It'll also be linked in the description. Now when I finish each batch of cookie dough, I'm taking it out of the mixing bowl and putting it into a Ziploc bag just to keep it fresh and make sure it doesn't crust before I'm ready to roll it out. I had a little helper come and join me that day. They were outside playing with their daddy, but they had to come in for a popsicle break. I have 2-year-old twins, and sometimes they like to help me with the cookie making. If you have kids and you're trying to entertain them while you're baking, my best tip is to give them a bowl of chocolate chips and a whisk and just let them go to town. They think they're really doing something. And they can eat the chocolate chips for a snack, so that's always fun. I'm sifting my flour parchment onto parchment paper so that I don't have to do any more dishes. I hate doing dishes, and this is just an easy way to go ahead and sift it all out in one go, and you can use the parchment paper to kind of guide the flour into the bowl when you get ready to combine it with the wet ingredients. This process is pretty messy, so I usually end up with flour everywhere, but at least when I make so much dough at once, I don't have to clean up the mess every time I make dough. I can do it all in one go and get it all cleaned up so that I have less messes to clean up in the long run. like using the little bowl cover to kind of keep flour from going everywhere, but it's just inevitable. There's going to be flour somewhere on my counter, usually multiple places on my counter. I've seen people use a tea towel that they've wet down to kind of keep flour from going everywhere. I have used that trick before and it works well. I just didn't do it on this particular day. I just repeated this process of mixing dough and putting it into a Ziploc one batch at a time, two batches at a time, until I had 8 double batches of dough. So I did this whole process with 2 batches going at once 8 times. And then I was ready to start rolling it out. Do well to get a little bit larger mixers. My double batch of dough takes every bit of space that my 4.5 quart mixer has. I just haven't splurged and used the money to buy one of the 6 or 8 quart size yet. It's on my list though. Okay, so I cleared everything off the counter, got all my ingredients put away, and now I'm starting to roll out my dough. I like to cut my dough in quarters and store the other 3 in the bag while I'm working on 1 quarter. It's just easier to roll out that way. I divide each batch into 4 pieces of dough, and I put 1 batch to a pan. I'm using cake dowels to make sure each sheet of dough is about the same thickness. These are just the cake dowels that you can buy at Walmart or Hobby Lobby. I'm using a silicone baking mat and pre-cut parchment paper. This just makes life so much easier. You don't have to worry about flouring the surface or cleaning up your counter with all that dough after you get done. I'm going to link a blog post in the description below, and I'll have all the links to buy this silicone baking mat and the pre-cut parchment and any other products that I'm using in this video that you might want to check out in that blog post. This mat is from Amazon and it's really handy. It's got a large surface area so that I can always get as big a sheet of dough as I need. And it's also really easy to clean. I just throw it in a sink full of soapy water, kind of rinse it off, and I usually hang it over the back of one of my dining room chairs so that it can kind of air dry, and it works really, really well. And then I just fold it right back up and put it in a drawer, and it stores really, really easily. This pre-cut parchment paper has been a lifesaver for me. I love it. It comes in a big box, and I just put it in a drawer below where I usually roll out my cookie dough. That's what you see me reaching into that drawer for, and it just makes life so much easier. I know it doesn't seem like much to have to pull off a sheet of parchment paper every few minutes and pull it off of the roll, but it really does save a lot of time. I only put 1 batch of dough on each pan because if you stack it too high and you start adding more than about 4 to 5 sheets on a pan and going above the top level of the pan, then they'll start to kind of bow. They'll kind of hang over the sides of one another, the dough sheets will, and you'll have like a bowed, it'll freeze in a bowed shape and it'll be really hard to cut. So I just stick to 4 sheets of dough or 1 batch per sheet pan. is full and I've got all my sheets of dough stacked up, I'm just going to wrap it tightly with some plastic wrap. I like to go lengthwise and widthwise on the pan just to make sure I've got it completely airtight. I kind of use the edge of the counter to help me do that. It's kind of a cumbersome job, but it's worth it to make sure that no air gets in there to the dough. And this dough should stay fresh, frozen in your freezer for up to 3 months. I like to use mine within a month just to make sure it doesn't have a freezer taste to it, but it will stay fresh for 3 months. So you could technically start preparing for your Christmas bake-a-thon this year around Halloween if you wanted to. I just stack each sheet tray on top of the next and place those into the freezer. When you get ready to use this dough, just go ahead and pull it out maybe 15 to 20 minutes before you're ready to start cutting. I like to give it just a little bit of time to thaw. When it's been in the freezer for a really long time, it does become really hard, and you don't want it to have that hard as a brick texture. You want it to be soft enough to cut but still frozen so that it maintains that really pretty crisp shape when it bakes. If you're using a metal cookie cutter, you might not need to let it thaw quite as long. You might need to go 5 to 10 minutes. But if you're using plastic cookie cutters like the 3D cutout cookies that you buy on Etsy, then you might want to let it thaw just a little bit longer. I find that the harder the dough is with those cookie cutters, the harder it is to cut it out. So I like to just make sure that it's still nice and cold and chilled so that it doesn't spread, but I don't want it to be frozen rock solid when I'm using one of those plastic cutters. And when you get ready to take the plastic off, you can just take a pair of scissors or a knife and make a slit in the plastic wrap, and that should allow you to take the plastic wrap off the pan. Just go ahead and wrap it back up and put it back into the freezer. It'll be just fine. And I re-roll my dough twice before throwing it away. I don't use a third roll because it ends up being lumpy. So if you have any questions about cookie decorating or how I manage my cookie decorating business, how I make those cookies, I'd love to hear them. I'd also love it if you'd like this video and subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell so that you can get notified each time I post a new video. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day. Bye bye.